A Divorce Website Guide 1. Chapter 1. Divorce Websites 1. liveabout.com/divorce-4145430, lots of free, current divorce articles. Created by the .com family, owned by the New York Times. Divorcelaws.us, find divorce info by U.S. state. Decent, simple website. Women's divorce websites. ParentsAreForever.com. Solutionsforfamilies.com. UPTOparents.org. Divorce-education.com. BellaOnline.com/site/divorce. Deciding-on-divorce.com/womenanddivorce.htm. Divorce360.com. Divorce399.com. DivorceAndWomen.com. Divorce-book-store.com. DivorceDFANSE.com, Divorce Secrets for Women. DivorceGuide.com/free-divorce-and-advice/marriage-and-advice-for-women.html. DivorceHelpForChristianWomen.com. DivorceHelpForWomen.com. DivorceHelpGuide.info. Divorce-helpline.com. divorcemag.com/articles/women_and_divorce/help_us_help_them.html. Divorceroom.com. Divorcesource.com. Divorcesupport.com/column/divorcewoman.shtml. Divorcetactics.info. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/the_muslim_women_left-parenthesis protection_of_right_act_1986. easyarticles.com, Divorce Help for Women. JudahSmithDivorceCoach.com. LeavingOurMarriage.com. MarriageMax.com/free-advice. Divorce Records Info. Divorce records are kept at government vital statistics offices. Free divorce records lookup.com. Government-files.com, search anyone's divorce records. Divorcerecordsusa.com. DocuPro.net. Intellius.com. Pro-detective.com. Recordsdivorce.com. Safespy.net. Alt.childsupport. Alt.support.divorce. Alt.support.singleparents. Alt.support.stepparents. DeltaBravo.net/CMS, Separated Parenting Access and Resource Center. Articles and stuff. A divorce dictionary at deltabravo.net/cms/page.php?5. A list of divorce terms. Chapter 2. Divorce websites 2. Divorce resources. Books about the psychology of divorce are at #306.874 or HQ777.5 at the library. I saw some money books about divorce at #332.024 or HG179 at the library. Adam Divorce Support Group. 1008 White Oak, Arlington Heights, IL 60005. 312-870-1040. American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy. 1133 15th Street Northwest. Number 300. Washington, D.C. 20005-2710. 800-374-2638. 202-452-0109. 202-429-1825. Fax, 202-223-2329. aamft.org. Beginning Experience. 313-965-5110. Support Group for Divorces, Separated and Widowed People. Center for the Family in Transition. 5725 Paradise Drive. #B, number 300. Corte Madera, California 94925. 415-924-5750. Support Group. Child Quest International. 888-818-4673. 408-287-4673. Dedicated to the recovery of children stolen by parents. Divorce Anonymous. 2600 Colorado Avenue. Number 270. Santa Monica, California 90404. 310-998-6538. Divorce Helpline California. 800-359-7004. Divorce Magazine. 145 Front Street, Toronto, on M501 x 10 cubed. Canada. Fax, 416-368-4978. DivorceMag.com. Divorce Resource Network. POG 231. Hawthorne, New York 10532. 914-741-1044. Fax, 914-741-6232. PamBlair@AOL.com. Newsletter. Divorce Support Group. 5020 West School Street, Chicago, Illinois 60641. 312-286-4541. Equality Nationwide for Unwed Fathers. 10606 Wilkins Avenue, La California 90024. 310-475-5352. Expose. Ex-Partners of Servicemen for Equality. POG 11191. Alexandria, Virginia 22312. 703-941-5844. 703-255-2917. Support Group for Military Divorce Law Reform. Publishes materials for military wives. Grief Recovery Institute. 800-334-7606. Support Group. New Beginnings Incorporated. 13129 Clifton Road, Silver Spring, Maryland 20904. 301-384-0111. Support Group for Divorced People. North American Conference of Separated and Divorced Catholics. 1100 South Goodman Street, Rochester, New York 14620. 716-271-1320. 401-943-7903, Cranston, RI. 541-893-6089. Parent link. 800-552-8522. Help for Parents. Solutions. 800-995-1985. Help in Divorce and Separation. Step Family Association. 333 West End Avenue, NYC 10023. 212-877-3244. Fax, 212-362-7030. Muslim Divorce. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Islamic_marital_jurisprudence. al-islam.org/laws/divorce.html, Divorce in Islam. islamonline.net/askaboutislam. law.emory.edu/ifl, Islamic Family Law. submission.org/women/divorce.html. Revocable Divorce Info. The Muslims have a concept called irrevocable divorce, or at least this is what a Muslim guy was talking about on his TV show on the Vision Network. In order to avoid a proliferation of divorces, he suggested that a couple separate for a predetermined period, anywhere from 1 to 5 years, to allow for the possibility of reconciliation. If one or the other marries during that time period and consummates the marriage, the former marriage is dissolved. The divorce is automatic as one of the conditions of the revocable divorce, that if one marries, the legal divorce kicks in. If they reach the end of the time period without remarrying and both want the divorce, it is granted. To me, this is similar to the stringent divorce contract I talk about elsewhere. It's almost like a legal separation. You separate for a while and leave the door open for reconciliation, but if it doesn't happen after the specified period, the divorce is easy. You just a piece of paper and it's over. Divorce news websites. abcnews.go.com/topics/lifestyle/divorce-rates.htm. articles.chicagotribune.com/keyword/divorce. articles.latimes.com/keyword/divorce. blogs.wsj.com/law/tag/divorce-law. divorcesinglenews.com. mydivorcepapers.com/mydivorcepapers_news.php. psychologytoday.com/basics/divorce. legalnews.findlaw.com/divorce-news.html. completecase.com/in-the-news. divorcemag.com. huffingtonpost.co.uk/news/divorce. huffingtonpost.com/divorce. huffingtonpost.com/news/divorce-news. independent.co.uk/topic/divorce and separation. mirror.co.uk/all-about/divorce. newser.com/tag/413/1/divorce.html. newsnow.co.uk/h/lifestyle/family/divorce. newyorktimes.com/topic/subject/divorce-separations-and-annulments. tmz.com/category/dirty-divorces. totaldivorce.com/news/default.aspx. usnews.com/topics/subjects/divorce. Online internet divorce. Go to your local divorce courthouse or go online, say you have an uncontested divorce. Get the forms. Fill them out. Turn them in. Pay the fee and wait. 123divorceme.com. 3stepdivorce.com. divorce.com/online-divorce. divorcenet.com. hitchedmag.com. divorcewriter.com/minnesota.asp. netdivorce.com. completecase.com. divorce-online.co.uk. divorcewriter.com. gov.uk/divorce. idivorceforms.com. mydivorcepapers.com. mydivorcepapers.com/online-divorce.php. onlinedevorce.com. utcourts.gov/howto/divorce. info.legalzoom.com divorce. internetdivorceme.ation.com. 3stepdivorce.com. divorcelawtexas.com. divorcenet.com. divorcesource.com/ds/main/online-support-forums-11888.shtml. divorcesupport.com. edivorce.co.za. illinoisdivorce.com/quick_online_divorce.php. legalzoom.com. personal marriage and divorce. mydivorceusa.com. mydivorceusa.com/divorce-forms. nevadadivorceassistance.com. reliabledivorce.com. texasonlinedivorce.com. texas2stepdivorce.com. topconsumerreviews.com/online-divorce. wikihow.com/file-divorce-online. womensdivorce.com. how to get a divorce. Chapter 3. Divorce websites 3. Divorce websites 1. divorce.ru.com, divorce search engine. divorcesource.com. divorcehelp.com. divorcenet.com. divorcesupport.com. divorceasfriends.com. divorceresourcecenter.com. coparenting.com, coparenting.com, custody parenting plans. divorcelinks.com, state and federal divorce laws. sharicids.com, sharicids.com, managing child sharing. curadebt.com/a/1587, curadebt.com, restructure your debt. DisgruntledHousewives.com, wives talk about their dud husbands. GentleHints.com. Divorceate.org. HuffingtonPost.com/J-Richard-Kullerski/9-D_D_1132934.html, J. Richard Kullerski, 9 Nasty Things That Divorcing Spouses Say. Divorce.lovetoknow.com. StopEourDivorce.com, DivorcesUpport.meetup.com, DivorceBusting.com. WikiVorce.com. CheapAndFastDivorce.com. HuffingtonPost.com/divorce. Womans.divorce.com/psychological-emotional-abuse.html, psychological/emotional abuse. DivorceWars.cnbc.com. HuffingtonPost.com/divorce/the-blog. DivorceSurvivalStrategies.com. LowConflictDivorce.net. Divorce360.com. DivorceBusting.com. DivorceNewJersey.com. DivorceNavigator.com. DIYDIVOrkfl.com. ehow.com, how to file for divorce without lawyers. hrtw.org/tools/divorce.html. famguardian1.org. DivorceCandy.com. NorthernVADivorce.com, Northern Virginia. GreatDivorceAdvice.com, divorce tactics for men. law.justanswer.com. ReliableDivorce.com. TucsonMediation.com. LarryLeach.com, free family law helpline. Seattle-divorce.com/divorce_book.html. Divorce websites too. 12stepdivorce.org. 3stepdivorcestore.com. americanbar.org/family/home.html. aboutrelationship.com/stopdivorce. alldivorce.info. divorcelawinfo.com. legalhelpmate.com. dadsdivorce.com. secretdivorce.com, plan it out in advance. divorcerecoverysuite.com. asktaxmoms.com/divorce. atschool.edu web.co.uk/sbs777/laws/divorce.html. baptistpillar.com/bd010htm, divorce, the unacceptable alternative. divorce-help.com. bbc.co.uk/education/divorce. betterdivorce.com. manageourdivorce.com, hefty fee. costsofdivorce.com. whyummyherding.com. cafemom.com, mom's divorce chat. costd.bayside.net, children of separation and divorce center. christiancentury.org/article.lasso?id=1765, after divorce. divorce-online.com. Divorce websites 3. secretsofdivorce.com. childcustodycoach.com. secondwivesclub.com, secondwivesclub.com. divorcedfansc.com. safespy.net, detective will provide information. hayworthpressinc.com, hayworthpressinc.com, research and clinical studies in family theory, law, mediation and therapy. divorcecare.com. doim.org, better way than battling in the courts. parentingclass.net, build a healthy relationship with your ex-spouse and children. deciding-on-divorce.com. helpyourselfdivorce.com. divorce.kasamba.com, ask an online counselor. divorce-articles.com. divorcecenter.org. divorcecentral.com. divorceeducation.com. divorce-education.com. divorceforall.com. divorcegrowth.com. divorcehope.com. divorcehq.com. divorceinfo.com. divorceinfo.com/blog. divorceinfo.com/depressioninchildren.htm. divorceinfo.net. DivorceKit.com. DivorceKit.com/bestways.htm, hide your money. DivorceMag.com. DivorceMagazine.com. DivorceOnline.com. DivorcePeers.com. DivorcePranks.net. DivorcePrep.com. DivorceProblems.com. DivorceReform.org/cau.html, causes of divorce. DivorceZource.com/info/estate/estate.shtml, estate planning. .com, through tco.com, thebalance.com, and verywell.com. DivorceSurvivalGuide.com. DivorceUnion.com, stop divorce articles. DivorceWizards.com. DivorcingMistakes.com. EndMarriage.divorcingsecrets.com. EXHTML. Flying-solo.com. frankca.com/divorce.html. hec.ohio-state.edu/famlife/divorce/effects.htm, Human Development and Family Science Extension. helpyourself.us, Colorado Services. homemakers.com. HTML, The Market for Divorce Essay. Hewson.com. institutedfa.com, 800-875-1760, Institute for Divorce Financial Analysts. jeremiahproject.com/divorce.html. kidshealth.org/kids/feeling/home_family/divorce.h. kidshealth.org/teen/your_mind/family/divorce.h. kidsinthemiddle.com. marriageisite.info/divorce. marriagedevorce.com. marriagedevorce.com/mdebook.htm. marriage-divorce-separation.com. mentalhelp.net/sci-help/chap10/chap10p.htm. ml. nlm.nih.gov/medlane+/divorce.html. nalo.com. nicedivorcelawyer.net/faq.htm. oc-divorce.typepad.com, Orange County, CA. online-divorce-help.org. outreach.missouri.edu/cooper/foc, focus on kids. p. parenting-qa.com. parentswithoutpartners.org. primenet.com/dean. queendom.com/www.board/messages/234.html. rmfc.org/cmp/divpost1.htm, Colorado Divorce. robertsonandcoleman.com, Greenville, SC. rootsweb.com/divorces. rosen.com/ppf/id/38/choose.asp, North Carolina Divorce. sandcastlesprogram.com, helps children deal with divorce. SaveMyMarriageNow.com. scflynn.org/divorce. selfhelpmagazine.com/article/divorce. smartdivorce.com. spiritualdivorce.net. stayergo.com. stop-divorce-now.com. stopyourdivorce.com. thatbitchbook.com. theytookeverything.com. totaldivorce.com. tyndale.cam.ac.uk/brewer/divorce.htm. utahmarriage.org. vix.com/crc, Children's Rights Council. Divorce websites for fjc.gov, Federal Judicial Center Education/Research Agency for the Federal Courts. thomas.loc.gov, Legislative Information, the Library of Congress, Bills, Search Divorce. uscode.house.gov/search/criteria.php, the United States Code, Search, Office of the Law Revision Council. ncsca.org, National Child Support Enforcement Association. ssa.gov, Social Security, Marriage, Divorce, Name/address change. cdc.gov/nchs/fostat/divorce.htm, marriage and divorce statistics, provisional data. dfas.mil, Military Defense Finance and Accounting Service, garnishment for child support, alimony, and debts. acf.dhhs.gov, Administration for Children and Families, adoption/child abuse/child care/child support. acf.hhs.gov/program/cb, Children's Bureau. acf.dhhs.gov/program/cse/rpt/gdl_m.htm, Evaluation of Child Support Guidelines. acf.dhhs.gov/program/cse/fct/cshdbk.htm, Handbook on Child Support Enforcement. acf.dhhs.gov/program/cse, Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement. acf.hhs.gov/program/or/program/marriagegrants.htm, web-based program for marriage grants. snrc.org, Early Head Start National Resource Center. os.dhhs.gov, Health and Human Services, Family/Children, Child Support, Abuse, Adoption. cdc.gov, Center/Disease Control Prevention, Divorce. healthfinder.gov, healthfinder.gov, Guide to Reliable Health Info. aspi.hhs.gov/hsp/mfip-2-parent03/report.htm, Investment Program on Marriage and Divorce. aspi.hhs.gov/hsp/marriage-well-being-03, Effects of Marriage on Economic Well-being. aspi.hhs.gov/search/hsp/prison2home02/park-stewart.htm, Effects of Parental Incarceration on Children. Guideline.gov/summary/summary.aspx, SS=15 and doc_ID=3529 and string equals, helping children/families deal with divorce. wholefamily.com/about-our-marriage/breaking_u. Divorce websites 5. Prepareforddivorce.com. sassypinkpeppers.com, a fun social group for divorced and separated women. scam-guard.com/divorce-and-women. secretsofdivorce.com. squido.com/divorce_advice_for_women. survivedevorce.biz. tao-of-divorce.com. thelilactree.org. themodernwomansdivorceguide.com/forum. truthaboutwomen.net, Stop Your Divorce. womandivorcesupport.com. womansdivorce.com. womensdivorcehelp.com. Divorce websites 6. house.gov/regula. thelawyerpages.com/law_connect.cfm. my.raex.com/mrsid/childsupport.html. legalkids.com. legalkids.com/form/petition_us.htm. my.raex.com/tilde-mrsid/custody_qp_results.html. promisekeepers.org. my.raex.com/tilde-mrsid/index.htm. Divorce website 7. a-team.org/links.html, A-Team Legal Links. aaml.org, American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers. aaml.org/children.htm, AAML articles, children. aaml.org/marriage_last/marriagemain.htm, making marriage last. nobelmed.com/wunitgs/father.html, Thunder, Canadian social worker site. americanbar.org/legal services/pro bono/home.html, legal help for the poor. americanbar.org/dispute/resources.html, resources, section of dispute resolution, American Bar Association. AmericanBar.org/dispute/comwin.html, PA, custody and dispute resolution. ACFC.org. ADRR.com/law1/CSP11.htm, the solution to the child support guideline problem. ADRR.com/law1/parreport.htm, CS recommendations from PA Supreme Court. AECF.org, AECF Annie EKC Foundation, Kids Count. AFathersVoice.com, A Father's Voice. ANCPR.org, Alliance for Non-Custodial Parents' Rights, ANCPAR. Backlash.com, Backlash. Buildingabridge.com. Calibi.com/NCCNCH, National Clearinghouse on Child Abuse and Neglect Information. Castlebooks.com/search.html, search engine for men's and fathers' sites. CDLaw.com, CD Law Incorporated. Seattle, Washington. ChildAccessCenter.org/visitpge.html, visit page. ChildCustody.net, Child Custody and Divorce-Free Legal Advice. Children's-justice.org, Children's Justice. Childrensjustice.com/stats.htm, Child Custody Statistics. CLR.org/ostates.html, Judicial and Attorney Misconduct. CustodyZource.com/state.htm. CustodyZource.com. CustodyZource.com, Child Custody and Divorce Resources. DadBeatDead.com. DadsRights.org, Fathers' Rights and Equality Exchange. DadsUSA.com. DeltaBravo.net, Sparksite. DistrictAttorney.com, Child Support USA. DivorceCentral.com, Divorce Central homepage. DivorcedDadsAreNotDead.com, DivorcedDadsAreNotDead.com. DivorcedFather.com/resources/research.htm, research, DivorcedFather.com. DivorceLawInfo.com, Divorce Legal Forms and Divorce Law Information Center. DivorceLawInfo.com. DivorceNet.com. DivorceOnline.com, Divorce Online. DivorceOnline.com, welcome to Divorce Online. DivorceZource.com/archive/index.html, divorce source articles written by divorce source professionals. DivorcesUpport.com. DNAcenter.com. ed.gov/offices/om/fpco.html, Family Policy Compliance Office, School Records Assistance. EqualJusticeForAll.com. fair.org/media-contact-list.html, Fair's Media Contact List. falseallegations.com/navpa.htm, National Association of Victims of Parental Alienation Syndrome NAVPAS presents a vaccine for T. FamilyUnity.com/index1.html, Family Therapy Center for New York and GA. FamLawSupport.com, Family Law Support Services. FathersForKids.org/bbs/index.sht, Fathers' Rights NFRC Forum, BBS. FAPT.org/issues/school.html number sign U, Fathers are Parents too, School Issues. FatherhoodCoalition.org, CPF, The Fatherhood Coalition. FatherMag.com, Fathering Magazine. FatherMag.com/html module/jule96/x-father-custody.html, The Case for Father Custody, Fathering Magazine feature article. Fathers-rights.com/guide.htm, Divorce Legal Publications page. Freeadvice.com, Free Legal Advice. For an attorney to advise you, visit Attorney Pages, our lawyer directory. GoCRC.com. HeartChoice.com. HiddenPaths.com/tgb/index.html, TGB homepage. HKY.com/fgn/frnhome.html, Father's Rights Network Team homepage. HowToGetADivorce.com/index.shtml, How to get a divorce, a resource for divorce, custody, alimony, and support. Hewson.com, the divorce page. hvcn.org/info/humv, hear my voice protecting our nation's children. issbr.org, isparint. SOC. For the study of personal relationships. justicefirst.org, Justice First homepage. kids-right.org, homepage for Kids Right. kidscountprogram.org/main.html, Kids Count Program. kparker.com, Kathleen Parker homepage. law.fsu.edu/journal/law-review/issues/254/mcneely.html, Family Courts and Child Custody. fa-ir.org/ai/begin.htm, Separation of powers necessary for preservation of democracy. lawguru.com. lawlibrary.rutgers.edu, Rutgers University School of Law, Camden Library. lawnewsnetwork.com/stories/A4694-1999-OG19.html, Law News Network, A White Knight's Tale. lawyers.martindale.com/marhuby, lawyer search. Divorce websites 8. americanbar.org. custodyreform.com. divorcehq.com. divorcenet.com. law.house.gov. uselaw.com. law.indiana.edu/law/v-lib/family.html. mensdefense.org. mesacanada.com. naccchildlaw.org, National Association of Counsel for Children. nationalpost.com/home.asp?f=99071/25630, female aggressors article. ncfc.net/whenthe.html, when the war renews in death, custody for surviving father. ncfm.org. ncoff.gse.upenn.edu, National Center on Fathers and Families main page. nalo.com/encyclopedia/index.html, legal encyclopedia. outlawslegal.com. parentalalienation.com/padirectory.htm, PA's directory. parrot.net/%sign7efax/index.htm, fathers and children together, SW Michigan. fatiuse.com/femianociracy.html, feminocracy. Looking for the line between feminism and child abuse. pinerist.org/custody.htm, child custody and visitation evaluations, West MI. renazommerassociates.mb.ca. religionstolerance.org/cps_vic.htm, parents victimized by children's protective services. rgardner.com, creative therapeutics, Richard A. Gardner, MD. robin.no/%sign7edad watch/podir/ran01.html, dran01. state.wv.us/wvsca/library/links.htm, WV State Law Library links to other pages. supportguidelines.com/links.html, supportguidelines.com links. timmins101.com, timmins101.com. tnom.com. urban.org/family/newprof.htm, the Urban Institute _ a national profile of non-custodial fathers and their ability to pay child. urban.org/family/newprof.htm, the Urban Institute, a national profile of non-custodial fathers and their ability to pay child. uselaw.com/library/article/cpcs4 missing parent.html !area_ID =15, Child Support Survival Guide locating a missing parent. vev.ch/n/lit/alienati.htm, Family Wars, the Alienation of Children. fact.on.ca/info/pa/walsh99.htm, Parental Alienation Syndrome, how to detect it and what to do about it. vev.ch/n/lit/rid.htm, getting rid of father. victoria.tc.ca/community/men's center/index.html, Victoria Men Center. visitation-creations.com. vocal.org/mainndx.htm, victims of child abuse laws, vocal. wastegate.hhs.gov/cgi-bin/wastegate wasteducid =$797302981 $0 ampersand waste action retrieve, single mothers and absent fathers. whitmancounty.com, Whitman County Watchdog. womenforfatherhood.unquote.com, Women for Fatherhood. zohrab.org/contents.html, Sex, Lies and Feminism by Peter Zarab Contents. Divorce websites 9. cola.org/cola.publications.html, publications from the Child Welfare League of America, CWLA. hartfordadvocate.com/article/fathersmatter.html, Hartford Advocate Fathers Matter. heartchoice.com/divorceroom, the divorce room. Help, information, links and books about divorce. 5050parents.com, large archive of mental health/disorder information. americanbar.org/legal services/pro bono/home.html. From the ABBA, listed by state. ancpr.org. backlash.com, Men's Issues Online Magazine. carepackages.com, make and send a care package to your child. childcustody.net, superb guide to C&D issues. congress.nw.dc.us/washtime/elecmail.html. tool for emailing your congressional reps. custody.com, source of key information when dealing with child custody issues. custodywar.com. dadloveszachariandmarissa.com. debunker.com/patriarchy.html. legalsurvival.com. deciding-on-divorce.com, a practical guide to deciding whether or not to get a divorce. divorcecentral.com. divorcehelp.com. divorcehq.com. divorcelawinfo.com, no-fault divorce forms. divorcemagazine.com. divorcenet.com, divorce-related discussion boards. The Second WIVesclub.com. divorceport.com. divorcesupport.com. divorcemagazine.com. dnahelp.org, information on DNA testing. mydadlovesm.com. expertlaw.com. familyunity.com, the Family Therapy Center of NY and Georgia fights for both parents' accessibility to their children and provides expert testimony and custodial assessments to parents undergoing divorces and separations. divorcesource.com. fathersrightsinc.com, National Center for Men's Voluntary Fatherhood Project. freeadvice.com, fee legal advice, many subjects, the backlash. legalsurvival.com, comprehensive source of legal information, divorcehq.com. lookingglass.org, women for fatherhood. mydadlovesm.com. paternitytesting.com. NewJerseyLaw924.com, specializing in New Jersey family law issues and litigation, Fathers Rights Inc. pace-custody.org/custody.html. Excellent informational site on evaluations. ParentalAlienation.com, information on parental alienation syndrome. ParentingPlan.net. ParentingTime.net, powerful and easy to use custody tracking tool. CustodyTools.com. PaternityTesting.com. pro-celaw.org, good pro-se law site. CarePackages.com. RenazoMMarAssociates.mb.ca, services and information for assisting parents with the challenges of divorce. RichardWarshak.com, offering material from Richard A. Warshak, Ph.D., through the Looking Glass. Secondwives.org, Second Wives Fighting for Gender Equality, splitup.com. Secondwivescafe.com, online support for second wives and stepmothers, divorcenet.com. Secondwivesclub.com, support for stepmoms and second wives. Sharedparenting.net. Split-up.com. superiorcourt.maricopa.gov/ssc/form/alpha_list.asp number sign frequency, divorce helpline. svdirectory.com. svdirectory.com is the largest listing of supervised visitation providers and services worldwide. wcprusa.org, Women Supporting Equal Parenting. womenforfatherhood.org, custody and divorce, free legal advice.